Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Now, if you are preparing for the PRINCE2 Practitioner Exam, you have almost certainly heard that this is an open book exam, right? And here's the thing, when candidates get to know that the PRINCE2 Practitioner Exam is an open book exam, their immediate reaction is relief. Open book, great. So I can just look things up during the exam in the book, right? Now that is probably the single biggest misconception in PRINCE2 preparation, okay? And it is exactly the kind of thinking that makes candidates complacent during the exam day. So in this video, I am going to answer one question very clearly for you, okay? What does it really mean when they say that the PRINCE2 Practitioner Exam is open book? So we are going to cover 5 key things, okay? Which PRINCE2 exam is actually open book and which one is not, exactly what you are allowed and are not allowed to take into the exam room with you, why open book does not really mean that it is easy, how to use the manual effectively during the exam, and how to prepare and tab your manual before your exam day. So make sure you watch till the very end, because that last point on preparing your manual before the exam day is something most training providers will never tell you, and it could genuinely make or break your exam. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's start with the first item, right? Which version of the PRINCE2 exam is open book and which one is not? Now, this is where a lot of candidates get confused. So let me make this very simple for you, okay? The PRINCE2 Foundation exam is completely closed book. No manual, no notes, no reference material of any kind. You walk in with nothing but whatever is in your head. Full stop. Now, the PRINCE2 Practitioner Exam, on the other hand, is indeed open book. So you are allowed to bring the official PRINCE2 manual into the exam room with you and refer to it throughout the entire length of the exam as and when you need to. Now, what exactly as part of the PRINCE2 manual can you bring into the examination room for the practitioner exam? And more importantly, what is strictly off limits? So that is exactly what we are going to cover in the next section of the video. Alright, so let's talk about exactly what is and is not allowed in the practitioner exam room, right? Now, the only book that is permitted with you in the exam room is the official PRINCE2 manual, Managing Successful Projects with PRINCE2 7th edition. That's it. No other reference materials, no printed notes, no loose sheets of paper with scribblings on it, no handwritten notes on separate A4 sheets as well, okay? Nothing other than the study material, which is the official manual on your desk. And here is what you can do with the manual before the exam, okay? You can write handwritten notes in the margins of the book. You can highlight and underline key sections within the book, okay? That's completely permissible. You can stick index tabs or post-it tabs on the page edges for quick navigation, and all of that is completely fine. Now, here is something many candidates do not expect, right? So before your exam actually starts, the online proctor will ask you to hold the manual up to your webcam and physically flip through the pages, okay? So in this entire process, they are just checking for any kind of hidden inserts or loose papers or tickers which could be tucked inside, right? So make sure your manual is clean of anything that is not directly written into, or let's say stuck onto the pages themselves as tabs. Now, personally, as a trainer, I don't prefer writing on the manual itself as well, okay? Even if People Cert allows for it, because having the entire manual plain, clean and simple eliminates any ambiguity with the proctor around that thin line of difference between a separate handwritten note and a handwritten note on the book itself, right? So if you can, please avoid writing on the book itself. Alright, now let's discuss whether open book is actually helpful or not, right? because this one would be quite interesting. So when most people hear about open book, they think that I can just look up the answers during the exam within the book, right? Now, I completely understand why that feels reassuring. However, here is the reality. The PRINCE2 Practitioner Exam has 70 questions, right? And you have about 150 minutes to solve those questions. That works out to what, roughly 2 minutes, let's say, per question, right? And these, mind you, are not simple recall-based questions like the ones you found in the foundation module, right? So these questions will be scenario-based, they would be complex, and they would be quite an inferential type. So you are given a project situation and you are asked to apply your PRINCE2 knowledge to it, okay? So the answer is not just sitting on a page within the manual waiting for it to be found by you, right? It will require judgment, it will require analysis, reasoning and understanding to answer every single question within the practitioner exam. So if you think about it, if your plan is to flip through the manual for every single question, thinking that the answer will find you somehow within those pages, the clock will defeat you for sure. And that will be the end of the exam for you. So here is the thing, right? The manual is a reference tool for your exam, not a replacement for your exam preparation. And that distinction is everything. So we as ATOs or authorized training organizations would help you to learn how to use that manual efficiently during the exam. And that is part of the training program for any PeopleCert registered ATO. However, as part of this video, let me at least give you the broad understanding of whether you should be using the manual for every question and how actually you should be using it as per the PeopleCert guidelines. Now, the overarching strategy that works quite well is this one, right? So when you solve a question, first answer from recall or from your memory or from your, let's say, learning, always, okay? Read the question, analyze the scenario and arrive at your best answer using your own understanding and the learning of the PRINCE2 methodology. Then and only then use the manual to confirm or adjust if you are genuinely uncertain, or maybe you are stuck between a couple of very close answer choices. So think about it this way, that the manual is your safety net, right? Not your starting point. Now, the candidates who use it well are the ones who already know the framework well enough to navigate the manual quickly to come at the right section where they need to do that referencing. So they are not skimming through each and every chapter from start to finish during the exam, right? They are going directly to a specific section, to a very specific page to verify a specific point. Interestingly, having the open book for the PRINCE2 manual is most valuable on the hard or very difficult questions, okay? Because these would be the ones where you'd be sitting between two plausible answers and need that one precise detail to make that call, okay? And that's when you need to refer to the manual. So please save it for those moments, okay? And by following this strategy, you will have enough time to get through the paper comfortably. Now that brings us to the final point, and this is the one I promised to you at the start of this video. So the question is, how do you prepare your manual before the exam day? Now, this is where your preparation time genuinely pays off, okay? And most training providers often skip this exercise completely. So before the exam, go through your manual and create a tabbing system within the manual itself, okay? Use color-coded index tabs or post-it notes at the edges of the pages of the manual, okay? If that makes sense. One color for the 7 principles, another color for the 7 practices, another color, let's say, for the 7 processes, okay? And a separate one for the management products in the appendix. Now you might ask why the appendix section specifically needs to be earmarked, okay? And this is because Appendix A of the manual, which covers all the management products, is one of the most referenced sections in the practitioner exam. So knowing exactly where it sits could save you valuable time on the exam day. Now, as part of my training program, I will also help you to tab a few additional sections within the manual which are crucial for the higher difficulty level exam questions. However, even as the bare minimum, you do need to tab as I have explained now, okay? And if you do that, you will be in a much better position to refer to the manual efficiently during the exam and as and when needed, and avoid all the stress and all the back and forth with the manual during the exam day. So that's it. Those are the 5 key pointers which you need to keep in mind when you come across this question that, okay, how open book is open book in the PRINCE2 Practitioner Exam, right? I hope you liked the video. Please press the like button and I'll see you again in the next video.